Let's go surfing, everybody. Last few days of August, first few days of September, we have a very cool Virgo new moon, but we also have a whole plethora of other really big things that would otherwise be the main influence for this week. For example, 3 different planets moving into different signs. Can you guess what those are? You want to write those below to get some extra surf credit points, whatever those are. We can make it up as we go. We also have Uranus station. So the planets that are moving signs, one of them is Venus going into Libra, home. Then we have Uranus station. Then we have Pluto retrograding back into Capricorn. Then we have at the end of the week, Mars going into Cancer. Obviously the new moon is the biggest energy. You got the 2 biggest energetic planets, if you want to call them that, coming together. So that does become the big dominant energy, but there's a whole lot more, as you can see. So lingering uncertainty. Sometimes a new moon can bring a lot of uncertainty, but there's the Uranus station, plus there's a Mars squared Neptune. It kind of brings in a lot of illusion in there. So the I-Ching is focused on, and then with the Virgo is wants to know all the details, and that in and of itself could be referencing this I-Ching. Then the Dreambot, and this is the most complex Dreambot I have ever seen. I'm looking forward to showing you, and you put it all together, you get the visionary architect. There's a vision out there, it's being constructed, but uncertainty remains. So a vision crystallizes this week, but uncertainty still lingers. Inside of that Dreambot's the Phoenix, the Diplomat, the Seer, and the Connector. We'll talk all about that. High congruency score. It's going to be an interesting week. Let's get going. Oh my gosh. I had this in the right place and it moved it when I pressed the number. Sorry about that. All right. Big shout out to Jesse Adore, clear winner this week with the post creation power. And I love how a lot, like I'd say the majority of these comments that win from the previous week are also very relevant to what's happening in the next week. And I don't think that's an accident, especially with the winners here. Now, one more comment about just the whole surf report in and of itself. We have quite a few people who are new here, and a few of you are asking what this Dreambot is. I'll go a little bit through there, but if you want to get a fuller picture of a bigger explanation of what the Dreambot is, go look in the show notes. There's a link for an intro video. And I know it's old. I really need to update that thing, but it does explain the Dreambot, why it's important and what we're doing with it. And then for those of you who don't understand why we can use both the tropical and the sidereal astrology, go see that intro video. It's very important. Very rare do you have anyone in the astrology community that's willing to include both, because it's this infighting. No, tropical is better. No, sidereal is better. There's an application for both. And I think we proved this in both our influence and solution. That's how we do that. So anyway, let's go ahead and look at the Dreambot first. Oh my gosh, look at all those lines. It is a quagmire. Let's make sense of this. I couldn't even just do the normal topic areas here, but we do have categories. Let's back up. Number 1 word in the dreams is vision. Now, vision goes with all the red arrows. There's not a lot of them, so that's the smallest of our topics, but it's the seer, vision, seeing what's to come. So that's in the collective unconscious. Then the green arrows, there's quite a few of those. That's the Phoenix. And this is like reset, rising from setback, back up, continue, just keep going. And then that's the green arrows. Then the the orange arrows are the connector. This is technology, code, email, things that connect us. This is akin to the Mercury and Uranus combination, as going to be both of those dominant in today's week. And then we have the diplomat. This is the blue sequence, and it's with agreements, negotiating, voting, choice, that kind of stuff. I have some linguistics to go over. Listen to this: acknowledge, agree, choose, continuing, votes, house. Obviously, I thought house and votes together goes real well. House of Representatives also could be more of a like a Cancer thing. And if this has to do with astrology, then that was obviously Mars going into Cancer. Linguistic set number 2. Listen to this. Future, understand, did, reset, back up, continue, already, back into. And so a lot of back into, a lot of backup, a lot of past returning back into the future. We've seen this again and again, but this Pluto Phoenix rising thing is not a new Phoenix. It's a previous one. So anyway, did I thoroughly confuse you all? Basically, it's the visionary architect. When you put all of this together, you get the visionary, you get the vision is crystallizing, and we're designing. We're like redesigning the world. All right, here we go. We are in the late stages of the Aries eclipse cycle. And in the 2 CIRF reports from now, the next one after this next CIRF report, we're going to start to see a full moon lunar eclipse on September 17th. That's in Pisces. But this week, obviously, let's not get so fast that we can't even appreciate the new moons. This is a Virgo new moon, September 2nd. So that's inside our week here. Energy window is Earth 2.0 with a question mark. It's karmic cleansings. It's also new Earth energies. Not promising that a new Earth's going to be here. It does have a question mark on there because this is the energies of the creation. As Jesse Adore said, creation power is in this whole cycle. All right, the last few days of August, the big news, Venus very early on returns home to Libra. And then this is the chart of September. The big news is that lunar eclipse. Oh, typo, September 17th, not the 2nd. I have to change that for our next CIRF report. The September 2nd is this week and with a new moon in Virgo. You can also see Mars going into Cancer, and you can see Pluto stepping back into Capricorn. And there's a lot more, as you're going to see. Let's go day by day, and you'll see them all. The big news here at 8:22 a.m. Central Daylight Time on Thursday, the 29th of August. We have the Grand Earth Trine still from last week. But this is the time, 8:22 a.m. The Venus, there she is, Venus moving into home of Libra. This was when she graces Libra's halls. This is the cosmic dance of romance and relationship, and it takes center stage. The ambassador of Amor radiates charm and elegance with magical touch. The ambassador creates an atmosphere of enchantment, inviting cooperation, shared pleasure. Hearts are open, beauty blossoms, and life's edges soften, especially interpersonal edges. You might notice an increased charm, increased grace, powers of persuasion are increased, harmonious partnerships, or maybe the desire for harmony and mediating, just working things out. But it's not just entering into Libra. Venus is automatically, just as soon as she steps into home, is conjunct with the South Node. So this is a little more of the cosmic counselor. And Here we have it. Here's the cosmic counselor. Profound opportunity emerges to examine the hidden dynamics of our closest partnerships. The cosmic couples counselor shines a light on the karmic patterns we unknowingly perpetuate in the relationship. And this is the counselor, quote unquote, will also look into your older intergenerational patterns. And some of us will see a magical return of old ancestors. That's the South Node, the power of the South Node. And then, of course, I've mentioned the Grand Trine, and now it's more, it used to be more of a Earth Grand Trine, but now it's more of an air Grand Trine. But still, the builder crafting the new Earth, the master builder, and with a little more flair of mental, interpersonal, mental planes are being overhauled. This is our last few days of Pluto in Aquarius in retrograde until he gets back into Capricorn. We will discuss that. Friday, the 30th. This is around noon, the grounded revolutionary because of Uranus station. This is going to be good for today, Friday, and Saturday, 31st. Uranus, the slower planet further out, is stationed much longer than these closer, faster moving planets. So when Uranus is stationed, the grounded revolutionary emerges, electrifying the very foundations of what we once considered solid and immutable. With jolts of illumination, this archetype catalyzes a tectonic shift in our material reality and value systems. That's very Taurian. The grounded revolutionary challenges us to radically reinvent our resources, currencies, and relationship to the physical world. This is earth-shattering revolution, and I admit that I had not considered this Uranus station when I did the energy window. The energy window of Earth 2.0, which we are in, this magnifies that whole energy. So it synchronizes with it. I think that's beautiful, but it's something to definitely point out because it's Uranus in Taurus, very earth sign. So earth changes. May feel innovations in money, resources, and economics. That's what everyone is talking about anyway, and that's been with Uranus in Taurus this whole time. Revolutions in agriculture and food systems, we're already seeing that with RFK kind of off the presidential train, and now he gets to just tell everybody what he's found in his research. And I think that's fascinating. One of those is food systems and agriculture. Grounded enlightenment through the body and senses. Saturday, the 31st, still Uranus station. And this is not much change. You still have the Grand Trine. You get the squares that we'll talk about here in a while. Sunday, the 1st. This is when Pluto officially is back in Capricorn once again. 7:09 p.m. in a retrograde on the 1st of September. This is the Dark Sovereign's reckoning because we have karmic audit on steroids. As Pluto retrograde exposes a rot in the foundations and demands regeneration. It's time to pay the karmic tax collector. And here's your picture here. The Dark Sovereign knows that true power often operates behind the scenes, and now it's time to dig up the buried bodies and hidden agendas in the halls of influence. Love this picture. It's a feminine energy that when looks through the book of, facts or book of karma, it just is. It's not, it doesn't need any masculine power to enforce anything. You once you're told here's your karma, you're just going to have to accept it. It just is what it is. Karmic audit. And I'm very much looking forward to that on a grand scale. Monday the 2nd, this is the new moon. This is the big day for everybody, especially our Virgo folks watching. At 8:55 p.m. on the 2nd of September, it's our last non-eclipse in our main lunar cycle. Last new moon of the old eclipse cycle until in October, when we have another new moon solar eclipse. This is the pristine alchemist. Where is she? She's right here in Virgo, 11 degrees, 4 minutes of Virgo. The meticulous care and humble service. The pristine alchemist. Let's get a picture up here. Sets about the sacred task of purification and refinement. The Virgo mind scours every detail. The alchemist knows that in order for the new moon's seed to flourish, the soil of being must be cleansed and nourished with conscious dedication. Doesn't that feel like a match to the karmic cleansing? Might feel like a fresh start for health, service, maybe tasks related to upkeep. You might also feel heightened powers of analysis and problem solving, opportunities to refine, even master skills and techniques, maybe profound healing of mind, body, and or spirit. And I'll give you a list of new moon, because at the new moon we're supposed to or suggested to make some goals, and they should be related to the tropical system, which is going to be the Virgo new moon. And you can screenshot that, so get that ready. But before we do that, I want to quickly talk about the Mars square Neptune. Where's Mars and Neptune are in a pretty tight square and tightening as we speak. But this is the disillusioned storyteller. This is adding to the unknowns that I talked about, the nimble wordsmith, usually adept at weaving clever tales. That's Mars and Gemini. Becomes lost in a haze of confusion and illusion. This brings a lot of doubt and uncertainty with Neptune and Pisces. All right, back to the Virgo new moon, and here's our list. These are not mandatory, right? These are not mandatory goals, but if you want to take a snapshot on the day of the new moon, you can create your own. These are just sort of some examples. Organize your living space or workspace, start a new health routine or diet, maybe improve your time management skills, set up a budget, declutter maybe a filing system, maybe emails, declutter anything, any space that you have. Establish a daily meditation practice. Anyway, there's several here that are just, for your edification. Tuesday, there's nothing really big changes, so I use that space for the new moon. And then on Wednesday, this is the 4th. This is when Mars goes into Cancer at 1:46 p.m. Central Standard Time. So obviously there is a time change in there. Don't quote me on that, but I'm wondering why this is now Central Standard Time. Basically, I don't know if there's a time change. It might just be my software messed up. All right. So Mars in Cancer is right here. It's the fierce protector. As Mars moves into Cancer, the warrior energy is channeled into defending and fighting for things like home, family, your tribe, the roots, your emotional bonds, everything Cancer. This is defending the homeland. There's your picture of Mars goes into Cancer. You might feel a heightened sense of emotional courage, passionate pursuit of protection and security. Empowered intuition. It's a water sign, so very intuitive. Profound insights into childhood, ancestry. Which is another archetype of Cancer. Tendency to control when feeling stressed, because Cancer is worried about protection and also cares. It it can overcare especially when it gets stressed out. Overcare is basically control at that point. And this is also the day that Venus goes exact with the South Node. So everything we talked about before, the cosmic couples counselor is on its highest peak at 4:26 p.m. on 4 September, on Wednesday the 4th. All right, now for the I-Ching. That's 56, the Wanderer, with change lines 2 and 5. So what does that mean? Well, it's the Wanderer. The basic energy of hexagram 56 is about being a traveler or stranger in an unfamiliar place. So basically, you're in a station, changing everything up. We got a new moon. There's potentially changes there, especially with Virgo, because Virgo is going to be looking for what needs to be resolved and is going to be looking for the details, not just going to go with the flow. It suggests a time of transition. This is back to hexagram 56. This is going to be a week of transition where you may feel like an outsider or are navigating unfamiliar territory. We've been so ingrained in one line of thinking, and it's almost forced on us. So I think just that unforcing is going to feel very foreign to a lot of people. Change line 2 feels like finding unexpected comfort or hospitality in an unfamiliar place. So unfamiliar, but there's this strange sense of comfort, a temporary respite that allows you to gather your strength. And then change line 5 brings in a moment of success or achievement, but with some lingering uncertainty. A mix of satisfaction and mild frustration, right? Don't you guys feel that already? It's kind of like the pendulum is sort of, it's like moving, but there's still, we want more. It's like frustration that you can't have the pendulum go the other way now, all the way. So combine all of that I just said together, and what you get is out of your element and cautious, finding unexpected comfort and support, achieving a goal or making progress in this new situation, but still sensing that something is incomplete or unresolved. Right? So now let's finish up the influence, and we will summarize for you. I absolutely love that picture, and karmic cleansings begin in earnest this week, cosmically aligned in preparation for a purification and righteous Virgo new moon on Monday, September 2nd. Prior to the new moon, expect insights from or the return of ancient ancestors, thank you, South Node, to reveal karmic patterns in social interaction and balance, and some other things. How you present to others, how you negotiate. This happens when Venus moves into Libra conjunct with the South Node. Then retreating Pluto, moving back into Capricorn, produces energies akin to the karmic audit on steroids. Karmic cleansings aren't always negative, hint, hint. All right, let's go back. And let's start talking about the solution. What do we do about this energy? We have a vision crystallizes, but uncertainty. What do we do with that? Be wary of temptations that arise because of the power of your position. I would also suggest, especially when Mars goes into Cancer, the power of your emotion or the power of your mind with the grand air trine, almost air trine. Combat temptations to take unfair advantage of power differentials by nipping them in the bud. Here's a quick list of behaviors that we should consider enacting. Be highly alert and vigilant. Advise against engaging with or confronting negative forces. If you know that there's negative forces somewhere, then don't go there. It's you're not wanting to pick a fight here this week, but you do want to keep your head on a swivel. That's basic. Strategic thinking, plan your moves carefully. Moral integrity, avoid rushing into situations. Clear communication, self-protection, and discernment. All right, here's our conversion chart. We're at the new moon. That is placed into hexagram 40 of the rave, and we get Sidereal Leo. So let's cover all that. First, hexagram 40 of the rave. It's deliverance. Decapitation. Hope I don't get a strike for that. Can't have any bad words. Decapitation, line 6. The necessary destruction of inferior forces in position of power. And that's before liberation can take place. Isn't that just a magical placement given all of the other things that we're in a Earth 2.0 question mark energy window? And we have the vision is crystallizing. We have the pendulum is swinging. And now we have decapitation, the authority, coupled with the magnanimity to remove from power only those which deserve such drastic treatment. The power and authority of the ego to eject individuals in legitimate defense of the group. If we have people in power, this is not me saying this. This is the rave. It's basically saying that we have the authority to remove people in power who are not good for our group. So here's the summary for the solution. I read for you liaison. There was a long list of behaviors there that we're going to incorporate. We have the decapitation and deliverance, removing negative people in power or just self-serving or corrupt. We have a new moon in, tropical Virgo, but in the sidereal, it's in Leo. So that means that we should do things in accordance with more of the Leo. But I'm going to explain how we're going to incorporate both the tropical and sidereal, especially this week. So here we go. The layout here is rich with specific and powerful suggestions. This is a week where you must be on your game. Interpersonal skills should be honed and used. In other words, examples: be discerning, use clear communication, stand up to negative forces, avoid people and places that you know to be harmful. Use charisma. This is the sidereal Leo. So this is how you behave. Use charisma and proudly dominate situations and your environment. It's not cower and stay away, but don't purposefully go into dangerous situations. Negative people, all right? The rave offers the authority to eject individuals who pose a threat to your or our group. Don't negotiate with people who clearly don't have our best interest. This is a new lunar cycle, and so spend introspective time designing your lunar goals. Don't forget that. And that's on the 2nd of September. So you're going to sit here and think about the next 2 to 4 weeks at the new moon, and you're going to use tropical Virgo, like that list that I showed you, some good examples, to help you design those goals. And those are the goals you're going to achieve within 2 to 4 weeks. Then we use Leo to how to go about achieving those goals. Does that make sense? So it's, trying to give an example. If you're, let's say, Virgo goal is to do some vacuuming or cleaning it up. So you're going to do it creatively. So very in Leo style, dominatingly, maybe aggressive, but I don't see how you would aggressively clean. Maybe thoroughly. You're going to dominate your space, right? So that's how you're going to do that. Sidereal is for the solution. Tropical is for the influence. So now I need to get you the plant of the week. That's what I was looking for. And you're going to want to screenshot this too. You're probably going to need 2 different screenshots. Here's the first half, so screen that. I'm not going to read it all, but you are going to want to read this. There's lots of information here. This is the tree of Venus called elder. It's an elder tree, and it's known as the mother of medicine. It's the elder tree, and there's a myriad of health benefits from the elder berry or the elder flower. And you can put that into tea as a preventative for immune boosting. Again, we don't give out medical information, so gotta use caution here, as well as a remedy for the flu. So I'm not claiming, nobody here is claiming that elder can heal anything, right? In accordance with the FDA, nothing can be healed according to them. Mother elderberry or elderflower tea can be given to the youngest children for a preventative for fever or flu. Apparently, it boosts the immune system. And here's the bottom half. So you want to take the screenshot of that. And while you're doing that, I can read Mother Elder is also tightly associated with Pluto in the underworld. Pluto is a big influence this week, as we know. And it's got the Phoenix archetype again. She can guide the death, transformation, and rebirth process by showing how to protect, witness, and nurture. Ultimately, mature and transform the inner child through the reflection in the hand mirror. Excuse me. She is the midwife of the karmic cycle. Love that sentence. Allowing pain to birth through water and knowing thyself. Ask for gentleness in meditation or prayer, even from the guides, while working with this energy. Then Sean talks about the new moon. You're going to want to read that. And we have a pro tip. Never harm an elder tree unless you're sure it's okay with her. She is said to contain spirits of the dead waiting to cross over within her physical tree self. An ancient, very large elder tree is said by some to be the tree cut down to make the cross for Jesus that Jesus died on, and also the tree Judas hung himself in. You see the karma there. Reverence for our elders and their wisdom. I think it's in the name, elder. So this was crafted. This plant of the week was crafted again by Sean Nelson. Let's give a shout out to her for giving us our plant of the week. Thank you, Sean. All right, here's your overview chart if you want to take a snap of that, and your script. These obviously are I do on our free will. These are not mandates. These are just a triangulation. My best guess at some things you should consider on how you go about behaving in this coming week. I think the big thing is just be on your game, be on the lookout, head on a swivel. All right? What did I miss, everybody? Hey, thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. And we will see you next week for another surf report. Take care.